welcome. This is Ezekiel
and Sarah,
and we're here today for another episode of Marriage Matters Live.
Yes. Greetings.
Like, so happy to have you guys who are waiting for us to get started.
Yes.
Happy to see a few of the long-time supporters in the comment section. We salute you. Praise God. All right, so look. We're here. We got another squawker for you guys today.
Yeah.
Today is a real gem, and we want to talk about something that I guess is really dear to us. It's close to us.
Yeah.
Because we had our own journey along the way.
Definitely.
Maybe we'll crack into some of that for you guys. I think Sarah's got a video on her channel, but actually, so you can probably check out her channel if you want to get like a sneak peek. Maybe you should have done that before. But so we want to talk today about weddings.
Yes.
Yeah. Do I really need a wedding?
And you know what? As we've said it, I want you to ask yourself that question. Also, say it out loud.
If you're not married, if
you're not married, and if you are married, did you really need one?
Come on, I was just gonna go with that actually. So that's a really good point. So after the fact, you've done it, it's been done. Maybe you're a year in, 6 months in, 5 years in, or more, and you're asking yourself, do you know what? Did we really need that wedding? What did it really do for us?
Or where did all that money go?
Yeah, for real. That's rich. So obviously, the reason, I guess it's kind of timely if you consider where we are at the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
So obviously, the way things stand presently, we're in a situation where there's essentially more or less a global lockdown. More or less, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some states, some countries, some nations are enjoying a little bit more liberty than others presently.
Definitely.
But the reality at the moment is that some people are locked down and it's really hindering their movements. It's restricting the options that they've got at the moment. Yeah. So as we're kind of here,
sad at the same time as well. Super sad.
Obviously, it's a major challenge for people. Obviously, you may have, and I don't want to. Let's not break into the juice. She's trying to pull the emotional strings early, but I don't want to get there yet. But yes, indeed, it is sad. Yeah. It's challenging, trying times for many people. But I think this is also an opportunity for us to really look at things in a real perspective. Yeah. Take a look at life and see where we really are. Mm-hmm. And ask ourselves, what do we really need? Like, what are the real, as my mentor would say, what are the majors and what are the minors? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's really important for us to think about some of those things right now. Because this is a time where, especially as the first lockdown kicked in, we saw the numbers really go high. People governments talking about a lot of lives being lost. And I think it really put a lot of people's lives in perspective. Yeah. They began to look at things and were like, you know what? Yeah. This isn't really important to me anymore. Yeah. This is real important to me. Yeah. And I even said to Sarah, I think I shared it with you guys on a show, when we came into this and it kicked off, I said to you, look, we need to come out of this better than we went into it.
That's right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Right. That was the mindset we were using when we were going in. And I said it to you. And my focus was for us not to get caught up with the wave of emotion, no matter the trauma. Listen, we are in environments where people close to us, that like dear friends, dear friends, I should say, who are like family, have lost people during this season.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So it's like we've seen the brunt of some of this. So it's not just solely fun and games. It's been a challenging time for many people. Yet we didn't want to get caught up, and this was at the get-go before we knew anyone had been lost on our side or anything like that was happening. And we were like, you know what? We need to come out of this better. We cannot go into this and let the emotional wave, the negative situation and facts deter us from the vision and the goal that we have set. Right. Basically, so I think this is a real kind of sobering time for many people. Yes. So we had this kind of agreement at the beginning of the initial lockdown that we weren't going to come out of this. We were going to come out of this better than we went in. And obviously, I'm putting it to you guys, as you're in lockdown at the moment or not, depending on where you're tuning in from, what are some of the major things that were big deals for you before that aren't big deals for you anymore?
That's right. Point of reflection, like what has caused you to really reflect on, and what views did you have before that have changed now? I mean, obviously, this is about, do you really need a wedding? And obviously this is like one of the things that have probably shifted in a lot of people's dynamics at the moment. I'm sure there are other things that maybe that might have shifted your mindset and all that kind of thing. So please feel free to share in the comments.
Yeah, I think that's really important. So let's tuck into the juice. So weddings. Like, my main thing, right, when I was kind of pondering on this was, why do we make such a big deal about weddings? Now, we've touched on this slightly in some of the very early episodes when we spoke about, I know everyone's going to know it now, we spoke about the movies and the influence from Hollywood and all that kind of stuff. But what I was thinking about more was culture. I was thinking about this from a cultural perspective. Yeah. So obviously, we're both of African descent, and where we come from, there's kind of like some major shindigs that go down. There's some major shindigs that go down, and it's not just the one event. Like obviously, if we dial back 2 or 3 years now, especially first generation people over here, like the youngsters are kind of, we're still young, innit? We still young, yeah.
Well,
all right,
we're still young.
So kind of our generation, the generation just kind of younger than us, maybe that above us as well, they really know how to
party.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Let's just say it.
So it's like, it's for them, it's not just one wedding, it's kind of 2, 3. Do you know what I'm saying? Or maybe 3, depending on the culture. So why? Like outside of the whole movie, the Hollywood thing, we've got culture. But the going real deep, it's like, why do we really do it? And what's the benefit?
I mean, I think that's the main question. The main question is why, and what's the benefit? That's the main question. But listen, I just want to lay it down. I love me a wedding. Okay.
Yeah, she does.
I love me a wedding, and you know what?
Ty Gilly.
And listen, there was a couple weddings that I was supposed to attend in 2020. It broke my heart that I didn't go, and actually not that I didn't go, but they weren't on. They were cancelled. Anyway. But that's just me. Obviously, not everybody, like some people like you, like the reception. After the reception, my husband like, let's go. I'm like, sorry, I need to go.
I like the church service.
The church service, that's the reception. Oh yeah, the church service. Yeah. Excuse me. I like both. But my husband likes to see the people tie the knot, and I think do you feel like at that point you're like, that should be it, innit? Everyone should just come to the church, boom, done, go home. You see the couple get married now. There's no need to go and eat jollof rice or drink super malt. Let's just end this now.
Look, you guys have heard me say it before, right? And like, so for me, a lot of the people coming to eat your jollof, are not there 6 months or 12 months down the line when you're still paying, that note,
to the chef, to the catering company,
or when that car has got to get paid for, or when the mortgage needs to get paid for, or there's rent, whatever it is. Those people ain't there. So my thing is just, kind of pick your visitors wisely, your guests.
That's so true. But for me, I think why a wedding? I mean, they are necessary to some degree. But I feel like it's still an individual thing. Yeah. Because it depends on the values that people have as well. Yeah. Some people might not want a wedding, but they have a wedding because of family dynamics, culture, upbringing. They want to give their parents sort of like maybe that privilege to say, oh, look, my child's getting married. Let's make a big deal about this. I think everybody has their own reasons for it. Guys, feel free. Let us know in the comments why you feel, because this conversation, Zeke and I can sit and go back and forth, but this conversation works with you getting involved and letting us know why did you have a wedding, or why do you want a wedding? If you were supposed to be married, like I know there were some people that were supposed to get married during 2020, even 2021, that have pushed it back.
That's right.
To 2022. Should you really push it back, or should you just, tie the knot? It depends, obviously. But I feel like for me, again, I always wanted a big wedding. That's all you ever know, isn't it? You watch the movies, you see the big, even coming to America, I wanted one of those ones. When she came in and the rose petals were flying all like, and she came in that gold dress. Yeah, man, when you grow up with those kind of images and that beautiful bride kind of thing. Obviously, she wasn't his wife yet, but she was being presented, and it was still very, wedding-like.
If that was the introduction, you knew what the wedding was going to be saying.
Exactly. So, but we grow up as women, as girls, we grow up with these images. Yeah. In our minds, in our heads, where we have them thrown at us. We have dolls that look bridal. We go to weddings, and we even like when you go to a christening, when you're being christened as a young girl, you wear like a little bridesmaid kind of dress. So you kind of get the feel for that from really early. But then again, it is the surroundings around it, because I feel like for men, even though men grow up with that around them, it's not always really a big deal, but for the woman it's like the biggest thing in her entire life. Why would she want to miss that? Why would I want to skip all of that? You know, and again, it's kind of like sometimes I feel like it's a label, a statement to say, this is the person I'm marrying. If you see him anywhere, you were all at the wedding. Look at the face, look at it well, you know, like to say, this is my husband, this is my wife, and you know, kind of thing.
I think that kind of lends from that whole cultural community ideal. You know, what we would reference is the joining of two people, two families coming together, and everybody in the family is aware, they know, they acknowledge, and in a way, in certain communities, we're saying we're going to support you. We'll support you through this. We brought you here as our family. We're kind of allowing you two to join, and we're kind of ushering you guys into the moonlight, basically. So in a sense, yes, that is an aspect of it. And I think where that's appropriately implemented, where you do have the family dynamic where they will support you, where you do have the training and the mentorship from kind of older peers in the family, I think that's useful. But when we find ourselves in a situation where people are just coming to chop your gel off, shake, and go, that, like, for me, that's a drama. Yeah, that's a drama.
Of course, but we have to remember, like, in some cultures, you cannot not have a wedding. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Isn't it, guys? You cannot not have a wedding. Not having a wedding is like I don't even... Listen, there's some words that are coming to my head, but I'm not going to say them. But not having a wedding in some cultures and some... It's like a major taboo in itself.
Yeah, I understand.
Right?
They're banishing you. You'll be... I've got you.
Exactly. So I guess for maybe, you know, those of us maybe in the Western world and, you know, in the first world places, it's like... even if you don't have a wedding, it's still kind of like... Oh, you didn't have a wedding. Like, it's still kind of weird. You're married. Oh, I didn't get an invitation, kind of thing. It still sounds weird when, you know, like when we say to people, oh, we didn't have a wedding. And they're like, oh, you didn't? And you're still married. So it does sound weird to certain people when, you know, not just certain people, in general. It sounds weird when you say to yourself, I'm getting married, but I'm not having a wedding. You know,
but they come part and parcel. They
do.
It's like peanut butter and jelly with no jelly. I fully get it.
But and at the same time, I feel like a lot of, you know, some people might have a wedding literally just because they waited so long.
Yeah.
You know, they waited so long, so it's like, okay, I've waited this long. Oh, mate, the last thing I'm not gonna have is me wedding.
All right, so we touched on this early episode, like I said, and I remember from that episode we were talking about it's every young girl's dream. This is what she looks forward to. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like her one day to be the princess, all those kind of things. And listen, I fully appreciate that.
Yeah, I know.
So I've spoken to you guys. Go back to the old episodes and check personal MOT.
100%.
Ask the hard questions.
Yes.
We've gone through all of that stuff. So we understand, like, first things first, you need to have yourself checked. You need to be driving towards a successful life for yourself. Now we connect. I need to evaluate you. You need to evaluate me. And we need to be saying, hold on, are we compatible in the sense that we can work together to build something successful for ourselves and for our community, the family we're going to raise up, etc., etc. My point is this. How significant... I know the wedding is culture. You lot can kind of see what's going on here, right? So, listen. So, I know the wedding is culture.
Yeah.
And I understand it's tradition.
Yeah.
My thing is it really beneficial? Wait,
wait now.
Let me land. So, look.
Is it beneficial?
Yes.
Okay.
The woman and the man... Listen, just for, like... I hope we got some brothers on there today, right? Because I know, like, there's been a deficit of brothers.
I think you guys...
So, you need to be sharing this with your brothers because I need their insight.
I think you do,
right,
definitely.
So let me just put this out because...
Like, outnumbered.
Because talking about some of the brothers I've got, that I grew up with.
Yeah.
I know some of them, even they might be in a minority, they were looking forward to that day themselves.
Yeah,
and they wanted that was their day. I can't say I wasn't looking forward to it. Come on, like I'm a man. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I wanted to do that.
You want to show me off?
You know what time it is. but the point, trying to get me blushing now. But listen, the point is this.
Yeah.
The point is, once we're evaluating, introspectively, and we're looking at each other. We have to consider what's best for us in the long term. I've made this statement. I know you guys have heard it. This is one of our chief beliefs. After communication, what you need to understand is the day after the wedding is the day after the wedding.
Yeah.
It's just
the two of you.
You wake up together. You may be on honeymoon. It may be mini moon, or it might be what do you call it now? Where we lockdown moon. I don't know how they're doing it now. You understand? But the reality is, when you wake up, it's just the two of you.
Yeah.
And this is when reality begins to set in. But you could have done marriage coaching. You could have done pre-marriage coaching. You could have done pre-marriage counseling. You could have had all of the insights from everybody. But it is that night. And I'm not talking to my people that were dating. I'm not talking to those that were cohabiting. Like, even though we were living together before we got married, the Lord was dealing with us.
Dealing with us well.
That day, remember I said to you, something was different. And I was telling my guys, I said to them, you know what, somehow, they were like, but everything was the same before. I was like, in the natural, and obviously I'm talking, this is my spiritual people now, in the natural, things were just the same. But something shifted. I can't place, even till today, I can't place it. But what I know is there was a difference the day after. And I want this to be super clear.
Wow, that's powerful when you think about it.
I want it to be super clear, right? For us to be mindful. Do you know, going forward, like, the wedding is the big show, everyone knows, and like, even it's an honor to God for us to present ourselves in that manner publicly and acknowledge each other 100%. My point is just, you know, some people go too far, and we can say that, but you know, it's just like some of us go too far. And it's important that we understand this is really based on our values. Look, we know people married, spent the money,
a lot of money,
invited the people, and then conflict set in. The D word came up. You know, we won't say it here.
We don't say that word.
The D word came up. It was drama, and it's like, you know the word, right? And it's like, these are the problems that I want us to avoid. And I think soberly, like evaluating a wedding in our right mind helps us. I've got to evaluate myself. Why do I want a wedding? You've got to evaluate yourself. Why do you want a wedding? Then we need to ask each other, why do we want a wedding? And what impacts? The first thing people say, I just want all my people to know. Like you said, you want to show me off. I want to show you off. But what does that do for the unborn children? What does that do?
Some people don't even stop to think about that, love.
And this is why you guys are here now. Because listen, some of you, like, maybe a majority of you are married, but the point is, we all have unmarried people in our community, and a lot of them are going to tell us, mind your own business. But it's at the point at which they come to us for counsel, and we can be discerning enough to say, you know what, think about what you're doing in the wider context of what's to come. That's just my point. So, you know, and I've got those gel-off people on the top of my mind, but aside from the gel-off people, you know what I mean, it's really this.
I mean, for me, you know, weddings are great. Love a wedding, like I said, okay? I'll attend one every week if there was invitations coming through the post, no problem. However, for me, I just mainly think it's what surrounds the wedding. Okay, I think for me, that's where my main issue and concerns are. I've always said, I don't understand why weddings are so female focused. I've always said that, and I don't understand, you know, I used to say, well, as much as it is her day, it's also his day.
That's right, you said so on a number of occasions.
But then a lot of the times you do find that weddings are very more, you know, drawn towards the woman, the female, and it's about what she wants and, you know, what the design that she wants, what kind of food, what kind of hall. And the woman gets to pick a lot of the things, and the man just kind of goes, yeah, all right, fine, la, la, la. I mean, you get some men who are like, nah, listen, I'm spending my 20G, I'm getting my 20G worth.
That's right.
So, honey, this is what we're going to do. You get some men who are very certain, they take that stance and they take that direction. But majority of the times, it's mainly the woman taking the lead of the day, and he just like, look, I'll pick my suit, I'll pick my man them suit, and like, you do the rest, we good. Because that's all, you know, kind of thing. So for me, it's a lot of the times, it's the fact that two becoming one, but on this big day, it's not really two walking together, being in agreement. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I hear you.
So it's kind of like sometimes even though they're getting married, there's a lot of disagreements, there's a lot of dysfunction, there's a lot of arguments, there's a lot of different things that go on before the wedding day. And these things don't benefit the the marriage to
couple.
come.
Yeah, that's right. The couple.
Right? There's strain that's put on couples. There's monetary stress that's put on couples. There's family pressures. You know, how many of you watching this know of a couple who planned a wedding, had their date set, you know, put money into it, families were ready, and then one or both of them turned around and said, sorry, we're not doing this anymore.
Multiples.
And so for me, it's like, why is that? You were both happy. You were both ready to do this before this big day planning came into place.
That's big. You know, that is big.
Okay,
that is
so
big.
I mainly look at it from that aspect. Weddings are great, but what stress and what pressure and what strain is it going to put on the couple that is now going to be a bittersweet feeling later? Or the stress, or, you know, they get married and it's like, oh, I remember just before our wedding, you did this, you said this, all that stuff now comes into play. Whereas you're really supposed to enter into that journey in peace, right? But then people take out massive loans.
Yes, they do.
People save money that they should be saving for a house, some baby cribs,
business.
You know, some business. I said baby cribs.
Good business. Good business.
You know, some business, some ventures, even holidays spent together to create memories for themselves, before children arrive. All that money could be used on doing certain things, but people are, once that engagement ring lands on the finger.
The ring. Let me go start talking about the ring now.
We had an episode that we did with our wonderful couple about wedding. Should you wear a ring? And that was such an insightful episode. Had so many people say, you know, that really blessed them and really did kind of touch their hearts and stuff. You know, but then again, the minute that ring lands on the finger, it's kind of like all they can think of is this one day.
Yeah.
They're not thinking past that one day. They're thinking of this one day. Let's make it through that day, and then we'll consider the rest, kind of thing. Yeah. So for me, it's not about the wedding, you know. And even it's funny because sometimes when I actually attend a wedding, I'm actually observing the groom and the bride to really see if there's joy on that day. You know, you can smile and laugh, but is there really?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you go and you feel, wow, okay, you've put all this on. I really pray. My prayer is while I'm there, that joy comes in the morning.
Amen.
You know, that after this, you're not going to be struggling to pay that water bill, struggling to pay the rent, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, and even sometimes, I think for me, that's one of the things about wedding. I'm always kind of like, did they really need to put this on in such a dramatic way? What point are they trying to make? And I hope the point that they're trying to make is fulfilled later on down the line, kind of thing. So yeah, that's me yapping on.
I think the truth of the matter is, a lot of people would say to you that if they started and then they didn't manage to cross the line, they weren't compatible. That's a massive argument that I see straight out. They weren't compatible. It wasn't meant to be XYZ.
Yeah. You get that though.
Yeah, 100%. And I think in some cases that's right. In many cases, in fact, you might say that, you know, they were saved from turmoil. Yeah, I feel, as you've rightly said, the stress, the trauma, the drama, the challenges and the pressure of those things can put people in a position where they're kind of like, you know what, no. And it's almost like, you know, you can make a wrong decision. Do you know what I mean? At the, I was going to say right time, but do you know what I mean? It's just like you're in that moment, you make a wrong decision and it doesn't benefit you for the longer term. So that's kind of one thing that I think we need to think about, because those of us who have children, we're parents and we're going to have our children walking down the aisle, someone else down the aisle. It's very important that we evaluate our position as parents and the stress that we're going to put into that relationship. Some of your children may be quite young. Some of your children may be close to that point of marriage. But what I think is important is that we really weigh in on this subject with our spouse and really consider what we're going to do going forward. The other point I wanted to make is, you know, it could seem like we're like, oh, you know what, just be super frugal, man. Don't spend any money. Do you know what I'm saying? But like, those that know me personally, like my mindset is abundant, 100%. And I'm not saying that, you know, save all the money and use it for, like, I don't know, something else. My point is just that, are we evaluating the true benefit? Sarah's made a really good point, and she was like, if you're going to do it, you can use that money for a holiday to create memories. And many people would argue, the wedding day is a day to create those memories. And I'm all for that. Yeah. What I'm not for is starting your not starting your marriage, as you mean to go on.
Yeah.
This is a problem. So people, like, you don't get into debt on your wedding day. That is a massive no-no. Do you know what I'm saying? If you've got family, you've got that, that father-in-law or that dad who's going to kind of foot the bill or kind of really weigh in, that's great. But you have to be mindful, like you said, the savings you've got, maybe you're in business, you've got some investments, that's great. But we really need to be mindful about the cost of those memories for that particular day.
Yeah.
And it's always, I mentioned it earlier on, and for me, it always comes back to the things that we've shared with you guys from early on. What is the vision for your marriage?
Yes.
What is the vision? Some people, blended families, getting married, they've got young children who are watching. Days after that, where there's a kind of like a wrestle and a tussle, because they put themselves under strain, we're now teaching those young children this is the appropriate way to engage into married life and find yourself in that kind of a struggle. These are the realities we need to address.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I used to actually think, right, that people who had these really massive, elaborate weddings were really rich and well off.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, I always thought that, oh my God, when you come to someone's wedding, you see the roses, you see the flag, you see the
castle,
layout,
the big
you
castle.
see this big, and automatically you think like, wow, these lot must have dough, they must have money.
Yeah.
But they don't.
That's true.
And it's kind of like, when you now think, when you see them like a few years later, it's like, oh, I really thought you lot were proper well off.
Caked.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes, is that the impression that people want to give?
You see, who were we talking to just the other day? We were talking to someone, and I was saying to them that, we're living in an Instagram generation.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was on one of my calls, we were together, right?
Yes.
And this is the issue. It's like we live in a day and age today where Instagram, I think we're on a video call together, right? We're Instagram is kind of the forerunner for your lifestyle. And I know I hear a lot of people talk about this, especially when referring to mental health, that like you shouldn't just observe the Instagram images or the Instagram life, because that's not their reality.
Yeah, exactly.
But what we need to come to terms with,
some people.
Yeah, I think, let me tell you something. Instagram, it's like, listen, my sisters, like,
By the time you finish with all those filters, okay, fine.
Listen,
okay.
I love you, my sisters. But look, I know about angles. Or how do you lot do it? I don't know how you lot do it. You know what I'm saying?
I know what he's talking about.
Listen, you don't know what I'm talking about, right? So there's the angles and then there's the light. Listen, all of a sudden, every sister on the road has become a photography specialist. Don't stand there, stand here. Make sure you turn to the side, angle your chin, lift your chin.
Not me, but that's true. I'm learning from some of the youngest.
And my point is just this. This is my point. It's like, look,
and Grace.
Instagram is basically your best foot forward. Putting your best foot forward.
Yeah.
For some people, it's putting somebody else's foot forward. And this is the chat. Listen, you're laughing. And I'm saying this to you. So when we talk about the whole marriages, Instagram is really kind of
has become a thing.
Yeah, it's a magnification of what you're talking about. Yeah. This reality where, look, on that wedding day, we're gonna show them.
Wow,
they're gonna see it and they're gonna know. And it's like, who you be showing the day after?
But you know what? It's funny because even when I'm on one of the Instagram pages that I follow, it can make you feel low, man. You're looking at all them outfits thinking, mate, like, sometimes people look at these things thinking they're giving themselves to feel good.
Yeah.
But it actually makes you feel worse because, if you're in that situation where you're not yet married and you're planning your wedding and you're looking at all these things, you're thinking, I can't have that. Oh, my wedding's not going to be the same if I don't have that dress. Oh my gosh, look at that flower thing. Oh, if I don't have this thing. And it can actually make you feel worse off. And bring sort of like I don't want to say depression, but mentally,
it's depression.
It's messing about with you mentally.
Oh, I won't tell you it's possession, but it's depression.
So I just thought I'd make that point.
When I reference mental health, that's what I'm talking about. A lot of people will tell you, like, young people are going through depression, wives, husbands are going through depression. They don't know why. They like there's this, and because they are constantly. We're reading Proverbs. We were discussing the other day, and it's talking about that individual that looks and they long for it, but they will never have it. And that's what it is. A lot of people, the scripture also says, I ain't preaching to you guys, right? But the scripture also says, hope deferred makes the heart sick. Exactly. So you need to understand, it's like when you're looking at something that is beyond your reach, you're not going to work for it, you're not going to labor for it, but you'll long for it, you'll dream for it, you'll lust for it. Those things cause sickness inside of people. Let me tell you what's worse than that, the scripture talks about, you lot got me on scripture now. The scripture talks about covetousness.
Yes.
And you know, this is a problem. When you be watching your Bella Niger and all them stuff there, yeah, I don't know what the other ones are, but...
I don't want to bait it, but you said that.
Listen. You be watching those things and you're kind of like, oh, that's just so awesome. That's so great. Then the next person says, oh, I'm going to work and I'm going to work and I'm going to work so I can have that. Now, listen, that's a problem. Because outside of seeing that, you would have been satisfied
exactly
with something totally
One
different.
Little chapel.
And this is the problem. Like when I talk about weddings, it's really about getting to the root of who you are. Who am I? Who are you? Who are we? And what do we stand for?
Yeah.
What do we really want?
Yeah.
What do we represent? These things are so important. And these, listen to me. I'm just going to share this with you really quickly. The clearer you can get on who you are as a couple, this will aid you in your journey to victory in marriage.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Because you no longer seek after or lust and long after what other people have, because you're focused on your own goals. They talk about relationship goals.
Yeah.
You know what some of us need to do? We need to set our own relationship goals. Stop watching them and be like, oh, goals. Like, ban that. Ban that. Do you know what I'm saying? What are our goals? And you can only establish that by understanding who the two of you are. You may say that word, the two words that you guys know, your worldview. What is our relationship worldview? Where are we going? Once you've got your vision clear, look, guys, you're going to hear me say the same stuff all the time. You know why? Because it works, it's relevant, and it's true.
That's right.
Listen, once you've got your worldview down, once you've got focused on where you're going, what's driving you, you aren't chasing anybody else's Instagram wedding.
I mean, obviously, there's nothing wrong with looking at other people and saying, actually, you know what, these lot of relationships are quite successful. You know, if you're able to reach out to them and say, listen, you got any tips? You guys married for stuff. There's nothing wrong with having some kind of aspirations to have a decent relationship, like someone that you might know, or someone, or you know, because obviously on social media you don't know those people. All of that stuff is just fake anyway. Not fake as in their relationship's fake, but a lot of the, you know, they've edited stuff, they'll edit videos, they'll cut stuff out, they'll show you only what they want you to see, even if it's not live, you know. So there's nothing, I'm just saying that there's nothing wrong with having someone to look at to say, oh, but you don't want to be them.
We talk about that all the time. And the key phrase that you said is a couple that you know.
Yeah, because you know them. They're real to you, you know, kind of thing.
Listen, like, I've said it to you guys. I've said it all to you guys already. You guys know it all. You know everything. Look, accountability couples, all right? I've told you about getting an accountability couple. And why is that important? It's important because when you see me and Sarah here talking to you now, you're not seeing the way we are at our lowest, at our worst. We come here to give you the best that we've got. We'll be candid, we'll be transparent, we'll talk to you about the challenges we've gone through and how we've overcome them. But in the heat of those challenging moments, you're not there. And this is what you have to remember. It's like on Instagram, you see the best of the best of the best.
Yeah.
And then it's airbrushed and filtered.
That's right.
And this is the problem.
Angled.
So, or there's angles. So this is why we need to focus on, getting an accountability couple, someone from our community, someone who we're able to reach out to, connect with, and that they can work with us. Because outside of that, you are following a facade. Yeah. Dangerous.
I mean, guys, even like just the times that we're in at the moment.
Yeah.
I truly believe that a lot of people have been given the opportunities to, you know, have the marriage without the wedding.
Yep.
That they kind of like always dreamed of in a sense. Because, you know, sometimes when we look at things realistically, you know, do we really need to spend that £15,000? Do we really need to spend that $6,000 on that dress? That's probably not even a lot of money for some people, thinking $6,000 for a dress. Listen, I was looking at a dress that was $13,000 the other day.
16, for real.
You know what? I used to watch Don't Tell the Bride all the time, and oh my days, like when you'd see what they spend on some of the dresses, I'm literally falling out my chair like, what? You know, I know you've watched those programs. I
remember, this years ago, but I remember one husband got the dress for the wife. She was crying, boy.
Oh yeah, she was she didn't like it, but she wore it anyway because she didn't have a choice, because that was the program where the grooms arrange everything, kind of thing.
Would you go on Don't Tell the Bride?
But for me,
if that show's still running,
one of the things that I really feel that can come out of this is, are you open to the Lord saying to you, that's not the direction you should be taking in? You know, some people invest so much on this one day. And they have their mind and heart set so much on this one day, that would they be able to hear if the Lord was speaking to them?
That's so powerful.
you know, would they be able to hear, don't invite that person? How many weddings have you been to that's ended up in a fight? Or have ended up in some kind of brawl, or even maybe not even just a fight.
Near the bar.
But you know, stupid, but you know, we're so consumed on that particular day that our relationship, you know, with the Lord, for those of us who, you know, are Bible believing or Christians, you know, that when God is talking, are we even going to listen? Are we even going to hear?
Yeah.
You know, that sensitivity might just become because this is what I want, this is what I'm focused on. And that can then reflect and have a ripple effect on other things in your marriage. You know, when you're so focused on particular things and, you know, a word is coming through, are you going to receive it? Are you going to hear it? You know, I mean, we can share our story quickly. I mean, You're
going in.
Well, we might as well, love.
She's going in.
I mean, obviously, for those of you that know, for those of you that don't know, here, let's quickly
go for it.
Give it a down. So, you know, when we were, oh gosh, only God knows how old.
Younger.
And, you know, like I said, I always wanted a massive wedding. I was like, okay, look, no less than 250 people. You know, my mum's got her people, dad's got his people, everybody's got I need to be ordering people from way back when to show up and stuff like that. So
how old were we?
We were like 21 at the time.
Okay.
And you know, so it was always my dream to have this massive wedding. I always knew what venue it was going to be in because it was the only one probably big enough to contain folk.
It was my dream to be married at 35. Let's go. Continue.
Keep it moving. and then obviously when we got the word about getting married, I was like, what?
No, wait. No, you didn't.
Oh, it was a big shock. It was a big blow to me when you know, obviously Zeke had his word and I had to confirm and check in with the Lord. I had to really get my own confirmation before I took that step because it was a big thing, you know, it was a big thing for a woman to give up that big day kind of thing, you know. So that's so obviously when I prayed, I fasted and I checked in, I felt such a release to you know, do what the Lord instructed us to do basically. And I don't regret it one second, you know, for me, because you know, for me, obedience was much better than the sacrifice, you know, and what we've reaped from, you know, listening to the Lord and following the Lord and everything, it's so much more beneficial than splashing out on that big day. And it's not that we didn't have the money, because we had the money.
We could have made it happen.
Do you know what I'm saying? But, you know, for me, I'm so glad that I was able to obey the Lord.
I thought I was preaching today, but Says went in. So,
but yeah, I thought I'd just share that. I thought I'd just share that.
I have said for many, many years that one of the greatest experiences you can have is to have the Spirit of God say something to you and you see the end of that instruction, the end of that word. And I guess what Sarah's testifying to now is that obedience. Like we're talking some 15 plus years ago now, and obviously at that point in time it was shaky, you're nervous, you don't know what you're doing, you're going in prayer, you're trying to check alone. You're much younger in the spirit and you're just trying to really get clarity. And then when it comes and you now begin to see the fruit month after month, week after week, year after year, it's a testimony. And I think the reason we're kind of representing this is just so that we can all have a mindset towards doing what's best for us. You know, when you follow the instructions that God gives you, you know you're doing it because you feel it's best for you. You know that trusting Him will work out in your favor more than trusting yourself. And this is really important. Relationship wise, we need to evaluate things for the longer term and really say, what is ideal for me? What works for me? What's good for us in the bigger scheme of things? This is really, really important stuff, man.
Definitely. I really hope you guys are really having a good chit chatter in the chat, because we're going to be reading them out in a few minutes. You know, we're going to jump in on the chat. So, you know what? I wanted to ask you guys a question. Do you know anyone that spent £15,000 or more on their marriage, or on their wedding, and maybe 2-3 years, couple years later, couple months later, they separated? Let us know, because you know what? Sometimes it is a reality.
I'll caveat that. So, do you know anyone who had an elaborate wedding? It doesn't have to be like
an elaborate wedding.
It could have been anything money wise. So 15 is significant because people could have had
10 is still a lot for some people.
People could have had a lot of visitors. They could have catered to a lot of people. You won't always know how much someone spent on a wedding.
That's true.
Do you understand? So what I think, just to kind of support the queue. Do you know anyone who's had an elaborate wedding and then the marriage didn't last quite long after that? And a quick question for you guys. I think I'll ask you again just to support this one. What's more important, the wedding or the marriage?
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. I'll chuck that there. So, feedback to us. Let us know what your thoughts are. You got anything more you want to say, or do you want us to jump into the comments already? Is it one? You ready for them?
I was going to say, like, you know, weddings. It's the, you know, for us, it's the end goal.
Yes.
It's the end goal.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes when you think the purpose of it, I mean, some people have a fantastic day.
Yes.
A brilliant day. A day they you know, they're so happy they spent every penny on that day. And you have some people that are sitting there going, you know, if I could turn back time, you know. And I guess, you know, like I said, it depends on the people. It depends on the culture. It depends on where they're coming from. You know, it depends on mindset. It depends on parents, how you've been brought up. You know, but at the same time, you know, it still has to be the choice of the man and the woman, the two people who are about to tie the knot. Not everybody's privileged to be allowed to have that choice. You know, because some people, they don't have that choice. This is what it's going to be, and that's it. They just show up, I guess, you know. It's all kind of pre-planned for them and all that kind of stuff. But for those of us that do have the choice and do have that free will and don't have that pressure, you know, and we should really consider why and what it is that we're doing on that day, you know. And sometimes I feel like, you know, a lot of people do it so that they don't disappoint. They're not looked at as a disappointment.
Boom.
You know, and if you kind of feel like you was in that situation, or you might be in that situation now, that if you don't do it this way, you're going to be a disappointment to your family, you're going to be a disappointment to whoever it might be.
Yeah, whoever's watching.
I think that's a place to really stop and check your heart. Check your heart. And even, you know, the person that you're marrying, you should be able to confide in them, you know, the husband or the wife, and say, look, I feel as if I'm doing this for people around me. And if you do find that you feel like you're doing this for people around you, then you really do need to stop and check and speak to the person that you're courting or that you're seeing, and say, you know what? Because like we were saying, like now, even when things go back to normal, they're still not going to allow 100 people in one building.
Potentially, I think if they were to take it back to where it was, it would be a gradual kind of uplift. Course. So but who knows when that would be,
but if they do lift the lid, if they do take the lid off and they say, yeah, weddings are allowed, but you can have 10, 15 people, some people are still not going to want to go down that road with 10, 15 people.
That's right. That's exactly right.
They're going to want 50, 60 people, 100 people. They're going to be like, you can't. So they will wait, keep pushing that wedding back. And then it's like, should the person that's waiting to marry you wait because you're waiting to invite certain amount of people to show up? You know, but yeah, that's just that's powerful. That's powerful. What's on my heart, really.
I'll be straight with you. I've had a number of conversations with a number of gentlemen over the last few weeks, and that has come up. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, my thing is, what is the driving force? Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
And I think when we get clear on that, I've said it, and I'm saying it again. Once we're clear on this, it makes sense. And like, once we're clear on that, we have clear vision on who we are, where we're going. The pathway becomes clear. It's like the trees kind of bow out of the way and you can see where you're going to go. And I think what you said there is so powerful, because you don't need to do it the way everybody else does it.
Yeah.
I think that's the real key there.
I even just had a quick question. Would you or would you not elope? Would you or would you not have a big wedding? You know, because I would just really like to know what people are actually thinking, because we didn't even talk about the whole jetting off to get married kind of thing. Is that something you would risk? Was that something you would do? Do you know what I mean? So let's, feel free to throw all that in. So let's go to the comments.
Let's jump in, family.
I'm really excited to see what you guys are saying about this.
I appreciate you guys so much. Just remember, like, we're here talking. This is a window into our conversation, but this conversation is fostered by you guys. Like, we appreciate you guys, and we are here to serve you guys.
And also remember it's a safe zone.
1000%.
Right.
All right. You want to start right at the top?
Yes. We have Kat Johnson says, hi there. And Sian says, hi, Kat. We've got hello, ladies. We've got greetings coming in. We've got waves. And we've got Kayon who says, we did it good. And I'm sure they're referring to that wedding. Must have splashed out quite a bit. But you know what? Sometimes, it doesn't take a big wedding for it to be really good. You know, we've been to some weddings that are quite small, 80, 90 people, and it was fantastic.
Yes,
had a wonderful night. So, it's not always about the size of the wedding. It's about the fact that the two she's got laughing faces there. We can tell you had a great wedding there. And we thank God. Z says, hi guys. Osa says, pronto. Z says, good evening all. Ecosmia says, hi all. Z says, I don't need a wedding event no more. I just want to get register my marriage. Please, Uncle Boris, open the registry office. I beg. And you know what? That's fantastic, because I feel like, now it's kind of like, look, I don't need this wedding. I just want to marry this person. Yeah. I just want to get on with my life, you know. And that's a great new perspective. But you know what? I pose the question: is this a new perspective? If there was no lockdown, is this something that you would want? If you don't mind sharing, or would you be spending or having this really elaborate wedding if we weren't in this current pandemic? So that's a question I pose. Osa says, blessings, Ecosmios. Ecosmios says, greeting at Osa. Z says, wedding is vibe. It's a celebration of union. It's a vibe. It is. Ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. I think maybe that's why Sarah enjoys it so much, innit? You know what I mean? Part of that, her cultural, inheritance.
Oh my gosh.
The old school, the old man.
Right, okay. See, here we go. Kayon said, mother-in-law stress.
What?
All right.
I need you to elaborate.
We hope you're still here, Kayon. If you can, just drop a little more juice on that, just to share with the community here. But I guess obviously, putting there that her mother-in-law she's probably talking about stress on the day prior to the wedding. What did I say? Family pressure.
Yeah.
And these are one of the things. It's just like, do you really want to be about to have your big day and you've got like everyone talking at you and pulling at you, and
everyone knows best. Everyone wants to get inside. Exactly. Everyone wants to tell you what to do with your day.
Exactly.
It's a lot of stuff.
Z says, honestly though, before planning, it was the ceremony that was key. Now having to cancel my wedding.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, wonderful.
And having to cancel 4 times.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow. That's a lot, man. So obviously Z's at that place now where she's attempted to get married 4 times. And it's been cancelled.
And the powerful thing about this is, you see, with time and circumstance, it highlights what's important. Do you understand? Right, so at the beginning, it's like, I want the ceremony. But then you've cancelled once. I still want the ceremony. I've cancelled twice. I want the ceremony. Then it's just like, and I might ask you, is it exhaustion or is it really just what's important? You know what I mean? Okay, maybe would you cancel a few more times? But the reality is, fundamentally, you just want to cross the line and start this new journey that you know is ahead of you.
Yeah, it's so funny now, because when I hear someone say, "Oh, I'm getting married," the first thing I'm like, just go get married. Don't even stress about anything else. Go get married. And in about 3 or 4 years, when you sort of settled yourselves, listen, pop every
what Kayon was saying just now. You get me? Have
it with a bang.
The good vibes.
And you know what? I feel like sometimes that's even another way, another perspective that people can maybe begin to have a look at the whole wedding aspect. I remember many years ago going to my auntie and uncle's wedding, and they had already been married 25 years.
Wow.
They had their traditional wedding, they had their registry, and they'd been married 25 years. And then they had a wedding 25 years later. Wow. A really big, nice, I guess it was what was, and they did that. And that never left my mind, because I was just like, oh my God, these have been married forever. But on this day, they were celebrating their 25th anniversary. They had a massive wedding for it. She wore her white dress and everything, and it was absolutely lovely. So obviously there are those options as well that people can have, if it's something that at the minute because a lot of people, you know, oh, why are you not married yet? Our finances.
I'm sure I've said it.
We're waiting to get the money together.
I remember speaking to a particular chap, and he was just like, "Yeah, I need to make about X amount of Ks. When I've got those Ks, then we can do it." And
I'll
it's just
take
like,
her down that road.
Sometimes if it might be the young lady, it's like, I'm thinking poor guy. If it's the guy, I'm thinking poor young lady. It's just like, what's really going on? It's the Ks, the printed tree bark that you're waiting for you to take your destiny or your life forward. That's a real challenge, man.
I mean, and how many people have found themselves waiting for the Ks, ended up not making it.
Exactly.
And ended up getting with someone else and getting married super fast.
And listen, the stories are plentiful. They're plentiful. And I think it's a big issue. When I was younger, they would say, sew your coat according to your size. And I think this is what people really need to understand. It's not one size fits all. It's not that at all. We really need to evaluate things based on where we are, what we desire, the timeline we're afforded, the governmental restrictions and guidelines. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you get married here, you get married in another country, likely potentially there'll be some restrictions, some changes, some differences in the law. We need to factor those things in.
I remember being at a wedding once and got talking with this young lady, and she said that how her sister refuses to get into another relationship.
Wow.
You know, she was about to be married, engaged and everything, planning the wedding, and they'd been together for several years. Yeah. And you know, not long before the wedding, he called it off.
Whoa.
Called it off, and about a year or so later, he married someone else.
Whoa.
And her statement was her sister refuses to date. She's broken. Literally, that has traumatized her. That literally has traumatized her.
This is a real deal, man.
You know, and obviously for her as a sister, who, you know, as the person's sister, she's still waiting but she's probably treading carefully. You know, has that affected her trust issues? Has that affected the way she looks at men? And it's just like, we really have to really think and consider sometimes when we're doing certain things. You know, sometimes, you know, waiting.
Yeah, if you haven't caught up on that video about finding the one, go back, troll through and have a look at that, because we've really got to do our due diligence early on before we kind of find ourselves in dire situations.
Stelz.
It's not ideal.
Says,
good evening, Stelz.
Good evening. Says, people in villages back then and now would come together to bless a union regardless of how much money or lack thereof. The whole culture thing is done.
Come on now. Come on.
That is so true. That is so true.
The whole cultural thing and done.
Sorry.
See, and that's powerful. You see, their emphasis there is, it's not about the money. And you can tell that there is this Hollywood, westernized influence that's really come in. We're seeing it over IG. We're seeing it all over the internet. And this is really affecting the integrity of relationships.
Yeah.
Oh, don't get me wrong. There's the, mother-in-law drama, maybe father-in-law drama, whatever that's being input. But the reality is, if we focus on what's really important, if we focus on the vitals, like, there will be no dramas, man. There will be no dramas. And my dad said something to me once, and he was highlighting the importance and the significance of marriage to me at one point in time. And it's really important when we focus on the vital significance of marriage, what it means to come together, to be in a union. And you're like, you know how we are. Like, he was saying to me something to the effect of, you know, when he was younger, when he looked at marriage, he said, like, you know, marriage is a one-time deal. And it's like, when you go into it with everything. And it's important. Because if we understand that, then we lose sight, we shift focus from the money, the event venue. And I my sisters, I know, you're looking, you're like, when I closed my eyes and I had a dream, this is the place I saw, and I was glistening with, the light was bound. I understand all that, but we need to be careful.
The vision board, girls, the vision board.
But we need to be careful, because those things can be damaging.
Yeah, definitely.
Stelz, definitely. Powerful comment. Thank you.
Okay, Z says, and not to be able to have the ceremony. That's what's key for me. I will send you an Uber Eats delivery. Oh my days.
Oh, if I had a horn, I'd be blinded for you now, girl. We need to get a horn on it. Wow.
Can you order me some Chinese and some?
No, Chinese. She wants what's that Auntie Williams soup, the green one. Ayamase. That's what she wants. Oh my goodness.
That's it.
Come on, Z. Loving it.
Stelz says, I go back and forth about having a wedding. I don't joke. I don't joke money leaving my account unnecessarily.
Come on, wait, finish. What's that?
Necessarily.
Especially spending money on people you have never met before. So-called aunties and uncles. Listen.
Come on.
Look. Therefore, the bill is on my mum. I like that. That's brilliant. Come on,
brilliant. That's brilliant.
No, it's real talk. I think, and this is why, who was it that we were talking to one time and they were like, yeah, my mum just gave me a list of people and said, add this to your thing. And it's like, we have to be mindful. Like, you've got a budget. I couldn't remember who it was. You've got a budget, you've got a list, things are going down and your mum or your parent just says, add these people. And like, they're not talking about money. They're not acknowledging. Like, these are real. What was it she said before? Mother-in-law drama. And it's that same thing there. Other people are trying to spend your money for, and respectfully, I'm talking about your parents, but people are spending our money for us. And when we go to our parents and we're like, you know what? We're stepping out into this new venture called marriage for ourselves. We respectfully acknowledge that you've done this before. We want to take your insight, but these are our decisions and this is where we're going. It really helps your parents to help you because you're presenting them, saying to them, look, this is what we are deciding to do. These are the boundaries that we've set. And obviously, if they want you to go above and beyond, then there'll be some kind of input, hopefully.
I'm just sitting here giggling because I've been to some weddings, and I'm sure if you've been to, I don't know if this happens in the Caribbean world, but please, if it does, let me know. But I've been to some weddings where the aunties, they come with their own food, ready to dish their
community,
their table. They're invitees, so it's not like I didn't come to swallow this your F4, your panda jam. And all this, I brought my own food for my guests,
right.
And I think to myself, wait, is that disrespectful or is that actually considerate? When they
what do you not think?
When they do that, because I've seen it time and time again, and I'm sitting there going, wait, is this disrespectful or are they actually being considerate?
I think I'm fairly sure that's a kind of community thing because
we have been to a few where different people have done
not even back in the day, obviously back home, people would bring. And they would that's a way of supporting. Everyone would bring and they'd set it up. But they don't
bring the food and take it to the kitchen. They bring the cooler. The cooler is there.
I know.
On their table and they're dishing.
Right, maybe that's slightly disrespectful.
So you have to their own people.
But it's obviously you're making sure you're taking care of your community. So listen. If I take care of my people,
I'd be vexed if that was me. If that was me and some auntie came with coolers for her table at my wedding,
oh wow,
I'm gonna be taking them coolers to the high table.
You're playing. You are playing. Oh, where did we get to?
Z.
Therefore, the bill's on my mum. Z says, I'm done. She said, I don't need a wedding. I just want to sign the papers. Plus, I've spent the money on my house. Period.
Praise the Lord.
You see there. Now listen, that's someone who's thinking forward. This is really important. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're together, working together, living together, moving forward together. And what have we got? We've got the house locked in.
Amen.
Do you know what I'm saying? Now you've got somewhere to stay.
That's right.
Come on, people.
That's right.
Come on, this is rich.
And
Thank you, Z.
And you got some equity. Go on.
What is she with?
Oh no. Z.
I'm done. Z says, easy. It's not beneficial. It's a vibe. Blow money fast. Chop my money. Yeah, obviously.
I thought I'd let you read that one.
We'll add that. You don't know the song, innit? You don't know the song. I want to add the song.
Stel says, at Z, Uber Eats delivery, Yeah. Oh, okay, that's lovely.
Come on.
Z says, all this being said, the government doesn't value the marriage union.
Yeah.
I say so because they can't even register your union at the moment. If you want to, but you can't still.
But you can.
But you can still buy a house. Wow.
You see, that's powerful. And
wow.
Like, obviously, this is why it's important to be sober-minded when you're evaluating things. Deep. Imagine that. See, they want the how do we say it now? They want the country to continue to develop, the investment to continue to come in. They want the economy to continue to thrive. But when we're talking about the family structure, the family union, and this is when that there are spiritual things going on here, and it's just not just the natural.
I'm going to my prayer closet.
Z, thank you for that. That was rich. Thank you.
Good. That was rich information. It really was. But you know what? That should also allow us to really look at things from a bigger perspective. What's really going on here?
Yeah.
What's really going
on?
Yeah. Thank you, Z.
He says, I don't mind not having a reception. Just let me register my marriage. I don't want to sin. But what does the government understand about that?
I I'm going to go and talk to the registry officer and say, listen, can you open just one day? Only 2 people will show up, the bride and groom.
Z, we gonna keep you in prayer, sister.
Oh, amen.
Stelsdale says, I really think it depends on the man. Her friend got married 2018. He planned 80% of the wedding. Was very hands-on. If a man wants to take charge and have it his day as much as hers, he will.
Yes.
That's super true. Like I was saying earlier on.
We don't see that often.
Yeah, I know some guys, like I said, I think for me it's a minority in my kind of environment that I'm aware of. But it's true, you're so right. There are those who are ready and willing to get involved. Good. And make it happen. That's powerful.
Good.
Kat Johnson says, at ZUE, when's it opening?
Oh, she doesn't know. Z at Stelsdale says facts. That's right.
Kat Johnson says...
No, Z says, at Kat Johnson, at the earliest, Uncle Boris has said the 31st of March. We are thinking to fly out to Nigeria just to go to the registry. Okay,
that's what needs to be done.
That's right.
And what we're talking about?
Get you married, girl.
That's what I'm saying. The priorities. You see this now? It's wait. We're trying to get it done here. We can't get it done here. You know what? There are options for us to go elsewhere. Let's go get that done.
That's it. And the marriage certificate is a marriage certificate.
Kat Johnson says, what? I hear you, sis. Yeah, I think I would consider flying out too.
Wow.
You see that now? People are thinking about the realities that would set in if they were in that situation. And we need to think about these things. Seriously.
Z says, she's laughing. She says, at Sarah, I thought they were rich. No, dear. Some just good credit card balance limits and overdrafts.
Boy.
Listen, I had to find that out. But seriously, that was always kind of like, these lot must have dough, man. Yeah. And some people go to some people's weddings all being envious of what they're seeing.
Yeah.
Not knowing, like Z's just said, they got good credit card, they got overdraft and loans.
Look at that.
Let's not longer trot, as my people say.
That's real. Stel says, not the photo angles. Angles.
Kat Johnson says, professional amateur photographer. Yeah, she's...
Hashtag.
You're getting there.
You see.
Yes. Okay, so she's clapping on that one. Says, set your own relationship goals.
It's got to be done. It's got to be done.
Right.
It's got to be done.
That's right.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Thank you for the comments, guys. Kat Johnson says, people, forget the wedding is one day like a birthday. When all is said and done, what happens next?
That's so true.
Come on, Kat Johnson.
That's a really good way to look at it.
She's dropping the pearls tonight.
Yeah.
Zee says, how do you know it's successful? The gram only shows you what they want you to see. Listen, Instagram is no way the foundation for your life. Remember that.
That's right.
We've got Grace I. She says, over time, from observing social media from a young person's perspective, I've realized that there's no such thing as relationship goals. You never know what two people's relationship is really like unless you're in it. So many famous couples announce their breakups and you hear, I don't believe in love anymore, and so on. When really, was it a good idea to put those two people on a pedestal? Listen, real talk.
Yes.
From the young people in the house. Thank you, Grace.
Yes.
That's powerful.
Yes.
Kat Johnson says, very, very true at Grace I. Grace corrected herself and said pedestal. Listen, you guys are flames in the comments today. You are flames in it. Listen,
take my money.
My device is about to kick. All right, says you go. I'm gonna catch you up.
Okay. Says Kat Johnson says, what 13G on a dress? Nah, mate. That 3x speed money for business. Trust me. Stelda says, laugh out loud. Don't tell the bride. Them brides be regretting the yes.
They said months ago, say yes to a man that knows you well. You got to look at that. Listen, these are the realities.
I can't take it.
Listen, hard questions, personal MOT. You got your vision mapped. It's like, he ain't picking the wrong dress for you. He ain't picking the wrong dress for you because you've done all that stuff in the beginning.
Exactly.
Listen.
Exactly.
Kat Johnson says, listen, she's getting married abroad, people. She wants to come. 1 year notice, people. I don't mind 6 months.
You skipped one. Z says, before lockdown, my dress was 1,200, event hall 4K, food 7K, no drinks yet, or DJ, or gifts to share for my guests. Lockdown saved me 35 grand.
Wow, look at that.
That's when you kind of, you're hearing that jam in your head, you're going, yes, girl. No, but you know what? Imagine that. That's a testimony on the screen, guys. I want you to take a moment to just read that statement on the screen. And you know what? That's probably not even someone's budget could be double for that.
She said no drinks or DJ or gifts to share for the guests.
And we're already on 35k. God bless you, darling. And your union.
So I said we pray for you, sis.
Yes.
All right, Kat Johnson, listen. She said she's getting married abroad. People she wants to come, 1 year notice. People she don't mind, 6 months. And stragglers, 2 to 3 months notice. She's not even wearing shoes on the beach at the ceremony.
Oh, wow.
But
that's
I rate you
lovely.
because I know one of my sisters, her shoes was blinging.
Oh, they were gorgeous.
They was blinging.
They were gorgeous.
So, yeah. No shoes, you're doing it.
Maybe kitten heels.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Cat.
Keep going.
Z says at Cat Dungeon, love that vision. Yeah, that's right. Ecosmio says, hey, at Z, lockdown brought its own kind of gifts. That's right.
That's not even a joke.
That's right.
That's not even a joke.
Vicky M says, hello everyone.
Vicky.
Hi,
Vicky. How you doing?
Stelza says, when you said you do know anyone, do you know anyone that spent 15K? I was thinking, I don't know anyone. That stupid person. I can never finish reading those.
LOL. Then I remember a couple that spent 50K. 50K. I said 50K. It was a showstopper.
Hey, why did I get that invite, man? You know?
Check. Listen, this is a testimony. They're still married. Okay. So that was irrelevant.
Okay, but still, I should have got that invite. And that's one of those ones you wanna attend, did it?
Well, listen, there's levels in it. You saw what Z was saying. You see what we just read there now, yeah. So
I hope they have their house and their car rent free.
Come on now. Come on.
Right. Z says a wedding is a business, a marriage is a covenant. Whoa. Till death do us part.
Listen, screenshot, guys. Screenshot. Press the button now. Screenshot. Listen, you need to hold on to that, yeah? That's right. Real talk. Real gems. That's right.
We got said, hey, at Vicky M. Kat Johnson says, put that money to a property, investment or business, start planting these seeds for your future generations.
Kat Johnson, that's right. I promise you, some people are too selfish for that. This is the problem. You know what?
That's true.
I said it. Introspective look at your partner, and what you find is that some people are too selfish for what you've just spoken about. That is such a rich comment. And if we had this kind of sobriety when we looked at things, we looked at the future, we considered our children, things would be in a different shape. I'm not saying don't celebrate, don't have fun, don't enjoy, don't create those memories, don't kind of
open your door to other people.
Don't do it with other people. That's right. You got me. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is that comment is powerful.
Put it on the money. Okay. So we've got Ecosmios. Hi Vicky. Vicky M. Kat says hi at Vicky M. Steltel says, oh, Ecosmios, good evening. Tans Tom says, amen to setting your own goals. Let's do this. Ecosmios says, we're having banter back and forth. Hello.
What's up, Stels?
Z says, I'm happy to have one.
No one,
but legally required to have 2 witnesses. Please, Uncle Boris. Oh, we're going to pray. Listen, everyone, just pray.
Look, there you go. Elope. No way, Jose. I used to always think of it because I'm shy and don't like attention, but my mum would probably snap me up, and that's why she's paying for my wedding.
Aww.
There you go.
That's nice. Ecos Mios.
I do know a couple who spent a lot on a wedding. Venue alone was 20K. They were pulling out all the stops. Meanwhile, they broke up 2 months before the wedding. Didn't even make it down the aisle.
Wow.
Frustration.
Mate. Kat Johnson says, imagine $73.3 billion industry at Z. 100%. It's all a money-making business.
Come on.
And we forking out for it. People are putting that. Everyone's part of that 73 billion. I tell you.
That's it. Everyone's putting their chips in.
Yeah.
Look, we need to understand why we're in this. This is what's most important. Some of you aren't married yet. Some of you are married, and you've got younger ones. I've said this before. Let's be mindful. As we're advising. We don't have to say you do it the way I did it just because I think my way was right.
That's right. Everyone for themselves. You set your own goals, as we've said.
Come on. Ecosmius, but I also know a couple who are on a testy ground. Married just over a year and it's tense because they're still paying off credit cards and other debts surrounding the wedding. They did go viral on Insta, but that's not paying the bills. I knew that was going to come. That's not paying the bills. And it wasn't worth their marriage. Praying they learn from this and make it through.
Yeah.
Wait. She says, even the obsession with destination wedding. Why must I go and now start flying, I think she means, across the world to see you married? Did you meet each other there? That's real talk. Listen.
It's true, but you know what? I feel like sometimes those destination weddings are... I mean, I feel like it's a bit selfish, but,
What, to go on?
Yeah, to do that, because you kind of know, like, okay, I feel like the destination wedding is really to sift out people that you don't really want to come, because only those who can... You're not paying for people's ticket. So only those who can afford to fly out, book a hotel, get childcare if they're not bringing the kids, all of that kind of stuff.
Take the time off work if they're
working. Take the time off work.
Close their business if that's the case,
going to watch someone get married abroad is going to cost you at least $5,000.
Depending on where you're going, babe.
Depends on where you're going.
It could be more than that, babe.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going, we're taking the boys, we're taking the girls. That's like... it's costly.
Yeah. We've done it before, haven't we?
Yeah, we have, but it's still costly.
So I think one of this is really, really key, and I think what's important is for us to really acknowledge these the shares that we're getting. People are really weighing in on their comments, and I want you guys to really look at this and really see. From one point, you could just be like, "Oh, it's just what we're saying."
Yeah.
And what you're seeing now is example after example how some of the things that we've shared with you are a reality.
Yeah.
These are people saying that, look, they tried it, they spent the money, they didn't make it across the line. We're seeing other people who said, they spent loads of money, they're still together.
Yeah.
We've got other examples where they spent money and they're suffering because they're still paying off the weight of that now. And look, these things.
And we've got examples of people who are going to get married and they have house.
There you go. Thank you. And look, it's important that we understand there are many options.
Yeah.
And we, as early as possible, need to determine which outcome we want. So if you want to join that house club, all right.
Say no more.
I think there was one more here. Was there?
No, you've got Z cancelled 4 times because of registry.
Okay, thank you. She said, I cancelled 4 times because the registry have closed due to the national lockdown or tier system. I have not cancelled out of choice. I was happy with the 30, then 15 people restriction set. So that's somebody who, like, listen, one thing I'm plucking from Z's comments is Z is very keen on getting the job done.
That's right.
So they said 30 people. Z said, okay. They said 15. Z said, okay. They said, we're locked. Z said, I'm flying out. Do you understand? And it's like, this is the reality. It's like, I want to get this done. I'm focused on getting this done.
That's it.
I think earlier on we saw Z saying,
God for your life.
Z don't want to sin. And it's like, you understand,
right.
when your priorities are right, when you're able to focus accurately, listen, you cross the line well.
Yeah.
The map is, I saying to you, the road is drawn out for you.
That's right.
All right?
That's
Dell says, if the K's will delay and stop you from marrying the wrong person, shout a praise unto the Lord and move on. The Lord just saved you. K's were a problem before the wedding and could be after. Listen, if I had a horn, I'd be blowing that for Stell's Dells right now. Listen, that's a lot of stuff. You got to think about that. And this is what we spoke about, evaluating that person. You're looking at them before, and you would see these things early. You will see these things later. Yeah. Money issues, they're kind of act shifty when you talk about their family. They don't. Listen, I don't even start. We got episode on that. Go check that out. Z, it's been truly exhausting mentally. She's been on an emotional roller coaster since September.
And the Lord strengthen you, honey, and prosper that marriage that you're about to have.
Listen, this is not a joke at all. Stell's Dells is laughing.
No, Vicky
Vicky
M
is
is
laughing at Stell's Dells.
Elope.
Saying elope.
Tans, Tom says elope. Would you elope? Would you not elope? Okay. Ecosmia says yes. Auntie comes with separate cooler for her personal invites. I don't know how they get them personal invites, you know.
Yeah, I've heard it bedtimes. My mum used to say it to me all the time. She said, listen, they will come and they will bring their people. When you invite one, they will bring free. Everyone brings free. So you have to make sure you've got extra chairs.
Went to a wedding not so long back, and it was like, musical chairs. There were so many people. The minute someone got up,
yeah, that's right.
Someone was trying to sit down.
That's right.
Onto the chair because there was so many people. But then, it was kind of like that thing where it was like the tables, and then the aunties had their food, and this other group had their food. But I think it's a cultural thing, I might not have noticed. I might not have thought about that. That might be a cultural thing.
It is.
That it's like it's legal.
To do that?
Yeah.
To bring you in?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And it's not like,
offensive.
We're eating our own kind of
I don't
food
think
thing.
so.
I don't know.
Wow, even bringing her own cutlery and plate. Whoa. Don't choke me.
Kat Johnson says, trust me, elope, but some will get the memo. That's good. Ekiosmia says, sometimes even table 7's jollof rice is looking sweeter than the caterers.
I see you. Peeping table 7.
You know what you're just
peeping
like,
table 7.
You're just like, Auntie, I beg, just give me small.
Oh my goodness. We praise God.
Love a wedding.
Stelz says, do not bring food to my wedding. When your table gets food poisoning and people ask, how was the wedding? And all the community hears is running stomach. Keep your food at home, respectfully.
That's right.
You know what? That's something I didn't even consider. That's something I didn't even, yeah, I'm sure it was. That's something I didn't even consider. That's so real.
Love you guys.
Try to tarnish the name in that. Zee says, when you see auntie having their own food on their personal table, that's the parents of the bride or groom hosting their club, social group members.
Oh, really?
So you make sure you don't eat from table 7. It's their food.
Oh, thanks for that, Zee. See, I said it was probably some cultural thing.
Was.
Oh, right. Thanks for that. You learn something new every day.
What Stelz said.
Everyone
on table 7 run to the toilet. No thanks. The infamous table 7, eh?
Oh.
Tans Tom, hi to you both. Lots of great points. It's Chanel here. Hey, Chanel.
Hi.
Greetings. Thank you so much for being with us today. Appreciate you.
Yes.
Ecosmio
says,
Stelz, respectfully.
That's right.
He's laughing.
Stelz says, you have to sign off the message to aunties. It's true though. You do have to kind of say to them like, auntie, don't do that.
Or let them be, okay, auntie, it's cool. I guess it depends which auntie, isn't it? Because, some aunties ain't taking no for an answer.
Exactly.
They'll be giving you that look.
Exactly.
I changed your pampers.
I was about to say. I was here before you was born. Ecosmia says, of course. Stelz says, uncles, if you see your wife leaving your house with a going to Funke's wedding,
Stop her!
I'm sure some husbands be turning their heads like, girl, do you really need to be doing this? This is so funny. Everyone's creasing up at this. Stelz says, this gift giving to guests. I'm sorry, the way my
account is set up, no unnecessary spending. Gift for what? Thank you for me, my mum, spending my money. No thanks. Oh my goodness.
Oh my day. Listen, you better invite me to your wedding.
I think we need Stelz on the show, boy. Stelz, we can get a chair for you right here. Right here, so we can just be
inbox us and let us what you want to talk about. Because we need you here.
We need to do something.
Definitely. Oh, this is absolutely brilliant.
We got laughter. We got so much more laughter. Thank you, Stelz. You got the people laughing. Stelz is back. I think Destination Weddings cut the number of guests.
True.
If you don't want to come, don't come. I'll only invite you if I really want you there. If you don't come, thanks. LOL. Yeah, I think there's a number of reasons for it. Real talk, some people are just trying to do show guy as it is.
Yeah, it's true. It's like, I'm getting married into boy.
Yeah, and then again, obviously, as Stelz said, some people are just trying to sift out. You don't want to come. It's like, my money crew will be there, everyone else will stay home.
Yeah.
I think there are a number of reasons for it. And like you said, is it really considerate? But then again, it wills back to what I've been saying from the top end. It's really about what we want.
Yeah.
And if we want to have something small, private, on a sandy beach, let's make it be so. I'm saying
some people want to just get married in their hometown, like countries that they're actually from. Some people will actually go back to maybe Nigeria, Ghana, St. Lucia. Some people actually just like, I want to get married. I wasn't born here. I want to get married over there, kind of thing. I don't know.
Keeping it cultural.
Yeah, exactly. That could probably be another reason why, some people, I know of a few people who are from Spain, they're here and they've gone back to Spain to get married they come back, kind of thing. Because more of their family are over there. Over here in the UK, it's probably just a lot of friends and associates that they've made along the way.
Yeah, that's right.
But the majority of the family are back in these countries that they're flying back to, and they're saying, you know what, if you want to come. But most of my peoples are back home. So
you know what's rich? So some years ago now, Grace Joey was small, I think, when we went there. So we, with some friends, went and celebrated some of our good friends' wedding abroad in the Caribbean. Listen, it was the most amazing experience.
One of the best memories ever.
It's one of those things where you don't know. It's like, we knew we were going, absolutely. Like, we knew we had to be there. But I didn't know what to expect. I think it was our first time there, and it was a brilliant time. And I think that, again, is an opportunity. I talked to my I was talking to Grace sometime, like years back, and I say to her, look, you know what? A lot of people in your school haven't even left the country. They don't leave the borough. You understand? They've talked less of leaving the capital. You've travelled here and travelled there. You need to bear that in mind. So even for us, sometimes it's an opportunity to take your people out of their comfort zone and let them see somewhere else. So there are positives to it, I'd say, but we have to bear in mind that not everybody is really in that position. I like what Kat said earlier on. Kat Johnson said she would give them a year's notice. And a year's notice is good. A year's notice is good.
It's good
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think we had about that.
So
where are we?
I think Stell said it's the couple's wedding. Get married on the moon if you want. Your gift will be waiting for you when you return. There you go. You see. So I think that's real, man. Let's get our plans and our goals intact. Ecos Mios says, I know a couple who are asking £50 per head for their wedding guests so they could afford the wedding of their dreams. Smart or selfish? What do you think?
Where's Z? Z, this one's for you. Let's get Z on the phone, lads.
So smart or selfish? So I guess it's a bit of both. And you know, the reality is, listen.
Sorry, can I just understand something? They were asking people to give them.
Yeah. So like, we want to have a wedding, like a crowdfund, GoFundMe, basically.
No, I don't think this was GoFundMe.
No, it's not a GoFundMe, but it's the principle. So it's like, okay, we want to get married. Give us, if everyone gives £50, we can have, like, maybe write a list and say, if you all give us £50, we've calculated we can have the wedding of our dreams. If your people are gonna give you the £50 and it works out, all right, it was smart. Is it selfish? It depends on if it's local.
Yeah.
If my £50 gives me, it's like a club, innit? If £50 gives me entry, I get the jollof, I get there, I get a good seat. You know what I mean? It's like, so all of those things I think are factor in.
I was gonna ask you, if I don't send the £50, am I still invited?
Now that's where we know if it's selfish or not.
Good question. Good point. That's just it. If I can afford to give the £50,
it's not afford if I choose.
If it's
1 year, imagine they give you 1 year advance notice as well.
But then the funniest thing is, I feel like that leaves the guests to really think about their relationship with this couple.
Yeah.
And the couple to really think about the relationship they have with their guests. Because if the guest is like, are you charging me to come to your wedding?
Do you think we'd have to pay £100, £50 each?
Yeah, she said asking per head, honey.
Oh, wow. So per children as well, isn't it?
Oh, goodness me, £25.
Hopefully.
So for a household to show up at someone's wedding, they're talking $350, yeah?
It'd be something like that.
Mate, listen, I want to be some Chinese and watch it on Zoom.
Yeah, that's a good point. So is there streaming? Are you streaming it?
It's on YouTube.
Are you streaming?
So this is what I'm saying. Yeah, is it that I think that's a point of reflection.
Yeah.
If this couple's asking me and you to now give them £50, if they're dear to us, I'll even send you extra. You understand? Send a little wedding donation. But then, if they're not, is it we're gonna be like, wait, I ain't seen you.
You won't pay me to pay to come.
I ain't seen you for 3 years. You invite me to your wedding and you want me to pay. So then it really opens up to see how the relationship that people have.
So that's a rave thing, but you don't think about. You're going to rave. You don't think about how if you know the promoter.
I don't know what
you're paying to go and skank, fam.
I don't know what you lot think, but yeah, man, that's £350 for us. Will we be going?
I ain't raved for a long time. I paid for entry like that.
It depends on who it is, okay? It depends. Okay.
Right. Z is sending those flames to Stels. Stels says, LOL guys. You know, this was my topic, Zeke, bro, and I touched on this topic some weeks back, so I was ready. LOL.
Brilliant.
Okay. Easy.
Ecos Mios says, we thank God for his timing.
Praise God.
Stels says, Ecos Mios, it's smart. Give me
Stels.
Give me £50 people to go to weddings. Give me £50 people to go to weddings like they're going to the restaurant.
Pay your bill.
I personally wouldn't mind giving the couple £50 at all.
You see it there?
Yeah, because realistically, you know, when you go to a wedding, even though that day is for the bride and groom, they don't even really enjoy it sometimes as much as the guests do, isn't it, guys? So to be honest, you know, the guests are gonna have food, they're gonna have drink, they're not got no stress on them. This wedding's been planned for a year.
You come, you sit down, chop and go in it.
Exactly. It technically is like going to a restaurant as opposed to the manager, the owner, the chef. They know all what it takes to feed you on this particular day.
That's right.
So when you think about it, asking people to pay for this might be a new thing, you know, come 2022.
Says is going to be managing this. She'll be the new consultant for those
if you
who
need a
want
wedding planner to collect money.
Pay and go wedding.
Bring it on. You read the next one. Stelzo says.
She said, Stelz, is it have a community?
Yeah.
Have a community around you that will support you. You know how they do in Uganda. That tradition is beautiful. They give the couple things, mate. No buying beddings for the next 5 years. This is what I'm talking about.
Wow.
And this is the reality.
Amazing.
This is the reality. So even
full on support.
We need to learn from these kind of traditions, these kind of customs from the days gone by. And this is how the community will begin to build stronger relationships. So you think someone's coming and giving you bed linen and there's issues in other areas, you can't go and seek counsel and they won't support you. That's the realness. But today where we live, the day and age we're living in, people are hiding themselves, no accountability couples, coming out, Instagram pictures, you see me, I look good, we're happy. Then, what is it? You turn off the camera and there's an entanglement.
Yeah.
Sorry. I just had to.
But you know what? I also feel like it's the whole, that culture of we can do this on our own. It's our wedding. It's our big day. There's nothing wrong, like Stelz has said here, having a community around you to say, okay, you know what? We're getting married. Yeah, we can afford this amount for a caterer. So auntie, can you and auntie so-and-so cook this? Uncle, can you get your friend from church to do DJ? Like, gather the support as opposed to try to splash out when you can't. There's no shame in asking for £50 per head.
When I was young, I think I told you before, young, I remember the days. Something was going on in the community. I'd wake up out of the house, come down to the kitchen. I'd see my mom, a couple of her sisters. Yeah. They've got the big pot on the stove.
Cooking.
They are working. Someone's having an event and they are supporting.
That's right.
I think it's that whole community mindset. We need to go back to that.
Yeah.
Obviously, like we're living in a different space and time today, but it's really important to learn from these things here. Seriously,
I mean, obviously we'll probably speak about that on a different show. But even having that community mindset around children, raising children, like back home, everybody is helping to raise that baby.
Everybody can smack your child.
Well,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, but now it's kind of like, oh, I've got to do. I'm on my own. So even that, just that mindset of I'm alone. People taking that into the wedding mindset, the marriage mindset. I'm alone in my marriage. I'm alone in my wedding. All that kind of stuff.
I'm reminded of Z Ubi's comment earlier, and I would love to put it back up. She made the point about Uncle Boris, as she called him, not permitting people to get married, permitting houses to be purchased.
And other trusts too.
When you think about that kind of a structure, it really demonstrates to you the focus on the family, the focus on the community, the focus on community development. Yeah. And that's absent, but economy development is there. This is a problem. Listen, I like big business. I like that kind of stuff, but that is something they got to work out.
Ecosmeal says, it's £50 entry fee per head, as in, would you pay £100?
The two of us, innit?
The two of us, would pay £100. And then Stelzo says, no children at weddings. Oh, I don't know if I agree with that.
See, this is a big thing for us too. Now we have to bring that out. We bring that out. We start now. No one ain't going nowhere.
No one's going
for the next 1 hour.
Some 3-hour live stream.
No.
But I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Since we've still got a good few people on here. Just children or no children at a wedding. Let's just kind of see what the majority says, because
we are not going to discuss.
We're not going to discuss it.
Listen, it will kick off.
We just want to see what the majority says. Would you have children or would you not have children at your wedding? Just say
children or no children. Children at wedding, no children at wedding. You let us know.
Yeah, let us know, because I'm about the children. Have their own section, let them play and all that kind of stuff. But
we went to a great wedding. You remember that? Let's now.
Yeah.
Stelz, pay the 100 or stay home and wait for the wedding highlights on Snapchat.
No.
I ain't got no Snapchat, so if it's not live stream on YouTube,
I see it.
It's done. It's done. It's a done deal.
Z.
I don't understand. Z says, goes back to the topic matter, £50 per head, so we can have the wedding of our dream.
He's ready.
Z said, so the wedding is more important or the actual joining? To register the marriage is only 2 bills.
So just ask 4 people to come in.
That's right. No, just ask 4 people for 50.
Yeah, that's right.
Listen, I think there's been, obviously you've gone through something that not a lot of people have gone through.
That's true.
And I think you're at a kind of a pivotal point. Like a transformational point at the moment. So obviously a lot of people won't even understand your logic right now. So but we with you.
Yes.
Cat Johnson, ask them, what's the family rate? £50 per head, depends on who it is. My certified circle, why not? Random associates, nah mate, I'll support from Zoom. I ain't even going to say that in that. Cat Johnson just tore it up. Cosmios, this is £50. Cosmios, you ain't playing. Cosmios is on it today.
Let's just wave a banner. It's £50. No, this is so funny.
Because this is £50 before I've done outfit, shoes, hair, etc. I said that's an expensive night out. Exactly. Did I tell you that it was the shubs already? I said that to you.
Exactly. No, because even you know, I know we're talking about weddings, but a lot of us guests, spend a lot of money to attend a wedding. Especially, obviously, men, they can just keep re-wearing that grey suit, that blue suit, and put a different shirt on. But for women, it's different. You know, especially if you know a lot of people and your circle is quite large and you've got a lot of young people getting married and stuff. It's an expensive business. Yeah. It's an expensive business for the individual. So yeah.
What do we get to? No family rate out here, Stelsdale says.
Stelsdale says, yes, when you go to a friend's birthday, you buy clothes, shoes, hair and makeup. Makeup for some and still pay your bill. Exactly. So why, when two people are trying to
tie the knot,
try to tie the knot, it's a problem to contribute? I don't think it's that it's a problem to contribute. I just feel like it's just the fact that it's not like normal.
Yeah, it's just not the standard. It's not normal. It's just like Sarah said. She said she would consider us paying it. So obviously that's something we'd talk about, and if we thought we warranted, we'd pay for it. She even said she'd give more. So I think it really depends on the scenario.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying?
I mean, and obviously if date night is lurking around the corner, why not? You spend the £50 on date night at least anyway. So hey,
it's when you're not in quarantine. Cosmios, yes, at Stelsdale's community support is a big and important factor. Even if those floral bed sheets don't match my bedroom decor. Come on now.
Oh mate.
Stel says we need to support people getting married. We do. That's why we're here on this show with you guys.
That's right.
Cosmios, I don't do clothes, shoes, and hair for birthdays. Come on now. Some of us must be looking fleek on autopilot, yeah. Cosmios, but for your wedding, I'll support and celebrate in style. Well, there you go. Come on now. Mate, use the floral. Take it as a prophetic blessing. You be fruitful. Your marriage will blossom like the flowers on the sheets.
Amen. I love that.
Mrs. I. Cameron says, children at weddings.
Yes, come on. And you know what? I feel like having seen children at wedding is such a joy because it's kind of like the full package. Because at the end of the day, after that day, that's what they should be foreseeing, isn't it? Children, family, people running around. So yeah. Z says at Ecosmios, laughing.
Is it?
No, it's Z.
Okay, sorry, go
laughing and fire flames.
Stels. Okay, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, Miss I can win says, you got it?
Before that? Well,
just after the flames.
Okay, no children at my wedding.
No, keep going.
Which one?
I just read that. Who said no children at my wedding?
Stelsdale says, okay, no children at my wedding. Adults need a night off. I don't want to see no breastfeeding on my wedding video or children getting smacked and crying during speech. Please, keep your children at home. Listen,
I
don't want it to kick off. Mrs. Akamwin says, well, I'm saying that, but at mine, it was just close families, children only. Nieces, nephews, and that's it. No second and third little cousins, etc. I ain't saying nothing.
All right, yes.
I ain't saying nothing.
Kat Johnson says, yes, children at wedding. And they have their own room complete with entertainment, DBS.
Chaperones, snacks and food. Listen, if I had a horn, I'd be blowing that horn for you right now.
Listen, I like the seeing ahead, the foresight. It's really good.
Grace says, children, they're a part of the memory.
Amen to that.
Cosmios, we've already had this conversation. Children are the fruit of marriage, so how not gonna want them there?
That's right. Come on. You guys are flaming the chats. Listen, keep flaming those chats. We're here for you.
We've already had this conversation. My parents used to leave. Stel says, my parents used to leave. Their parents used to leave their sisters and I at home and go about their business. Parents need a night off. Where the invitation says no children, they would respect the couple.
Yeah, of course.
I think we respect the couple. Of course.
We've obviously been to weddings where it's just like no children, and then you get that 1-2 couple that come in with the kids, and everyone's like,
listen, let's not go there.
Did you not see the invite?
Stills, anyone try bringing a child to my wedding is gonna be an issue. And then where security meets you at the door. Stills said no children.
But you know what? Okay, Stills, there's a difference between children and babies, though.
Wait, no, it's coming.
Okay, is it? Okay, cool. Because you can't leave the babies at home. But I have been when they've been big children. They said no children. They got big 5, 6, 7-year-olds ramping up the place.
He says no children. Sorry, I'm only allowing babies on laps.
That's right. That's right.
There you go. It's on. I see a tussle happening. Stills is laughing. He calls me on. Even the flower girl wait outside. Boy, the flower girl needs to go home.
Who said that?
He calls me on.
Nah.
That's what it is, isn't it? If there's no children from the church, the flower girl, the page boy, they go home. The adults go to party.
No, listen, I'm not feeling this. You're not talking about kids. I'm not feeling this. Okay.
I told you, let's not go here. Tom, children should be at weddings. It's about two families coming together. Children are the starting block. The example needs to be set. And what better way than visually? That's right. That was a banger. Zee says, Stel says, even the child on lap, LOL, when they throw up on the tablecloths, that needs to be sent back.
What am I dealing with? You're going
to have to buy the tablecloth that goes with nothing in your house.
No, you know what? Okay, all right, here's a solution, yeah? If you're inviting someone...
I'll tell you that. She's fixing it for you now. You listening? She's fixing it for you.
Okay, let me just see if this might work. So if you're inviting someone, they have a baby, and you know you're quite particular about having babies and children at your wedding, you kind of let them have a section. Yeah, let them have a section of their own. So the prams can go in the back, and you're not got that couple who you've seated in the middle with a buggy and they're, excuse me, pushing through. That's kind of like, oh my gosh. But if you plan it in a way where they all kind of sit at the back, or not the back, because they're like...
We can have a stream on this, baby. We can have a stream on this, okay?
Fine.
We can stream on this another time,
Don't segregate the babies, okay? Don't do that to the babies.
Polly says hi.
Hi, Polly.
How you doing?
Welcome.
Zee says, Stells, you're right, but a lot of my friends have newborns and I'd want them to be there, so baby on laps for me.
That's right. Cosmeo says... Hey, Polly. Stelzo says, what flower girl? Flower girls are dated and 16 or over.
Listen.
I can't take...
You know we winding down. We did start today talking about weddings or not, you know.
We did.
Now we're talking about something different. There's a time and a place for children. Please. All right, Stelz, we know your position.
Right.
We know your position. Are we good?
Yeah, we're good. Well, yeah. Okay, I was going to say...
She's about to flame on, you know. I try to tell you, though. Right. We praise God. Listen, it's been fun. Yes, it's been rich. It's been real.
It's been lovely.
Listen, guys. This conversation is fostered by you guys. We are here to discuss our experiences, the journey that we've come along, and the whole purpose of this is for us to enrich married couples, those going into marriage, those who are already in marriage, those who are like in a rocky place in their marriage. The whole purpose of Marriage Matters is for us to help you develop and build up, enrich your marriage right where you are. So listen, please share this video with people in your community, people that you feel can be benefited from this. If you're courting, or if people are, if those people that are dating, send them that dating video.
Exactly.
It's in the time.
Exactly.
Is it there?
It's somewhere.
So look, we're here fostering this conversation with you guys, for you guys.
Yes.
Is there one more comment you want me to throw out there?
Oh yeah, show it all.
Okay, so let's see what we got.
I'm getting hotted, basically. And you know what's so funny? I was thinking, no, Stelzel says, Sarah, trying to give solutions. Your table will be at the back, all right? The back of the car park.
You see it there with all the children in it, all the children at the back of the car park managing that.
Why? Ecosmeo says even overflow sections for families. Wow. Kat Johnson says hi, Polly. Ecosmeo says book the hall next door. Zooey, it's been a laugh. Thank you all.
Listen. Blessings to everybody. Thank you so much.
Amazing
for
session.
Showing up today. We appreciate you guys.
We do.
Listen. No, you sign that.
I'm full of laughter right now. I'm full of laughter.
Listen, I'm Ezekiel.
And I'm Sarah.
And we've been here today for Marriage Matters Live. We'll see you guys in a fortnight.
Yes. Thank you. Big hugs from here, or fist bump, whatever's going on these days. So yeah, we love you guys. See you soon.
Talk to you soon.
You can keep chatting, y'all. Oh.